Okay, we're already on week 14.2, and we're going to be doing the fourth lab for your PowerPoint project, your final project. And on this lab, you should be creating your backgrounds or your design themes, your transitions, how the slides move from one slide to another, and the animations. And that's how the objects come into the slide as you're doing your presentation. So the big difference between transitions and animations, some people tend to confuse them. The transition is how the slide goes from slide number 1 to slide number 2 and so forth and so on. The animation is the individual objects, how the title comes on, how the pictures come on, how the text comes onto the screen. So that's the difference between the two. So let's go take a look at these. So the first thing you have is your theme. You really want to set your theme before you do any of your transitions or any of that, because you may have to move things around like we talked about before. So if I go to the Design tab, this is where you are going to find your themes. And you can take a look here. I don't think black and white is real good for accounting. That's not, it probably is, but that's not what I want. The theme I'm going to choose, I would like to choose this one right here. I like this one. It's pretty plain. It's the least amount of changing that I'm going to have to do. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through all of my slides, and I'm going to see what needs to be changed. I think that some of these colors need to be changed a little bit. Make them a little bit brighter with that dark background so that they can be seen easier. And this white probably doesn't show up real well. Let's see, let's try that yellow and make it bold. Maybe make my font a little bit larger. You're going to have to go through each and every slide. Look at this slide goes, this Smart Art fades into the bottom border. So I'm going to want to click on my Smart Art and move it up. Now it doesn't go into the footer. And I'm going to keep looking here. I'm going to scroll down each of my slides and see if there's anything else that needs to be changed just because of the change of theme. This here runs into the border. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over a little bit, my text, and then I'm going to move my object over. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. And I've created a new slide to show you something on animation. So now that those look okay, I'm ready to move on. You choose whatever background you want. It doesn't matter to me, just so it's pleasant to look at. Keep in mind, some of these themes, if you go to your design themes, some of them are real playful or something. Would you really want a purple background or one of these real bright backgrounds that you can find? Depending upon your audience, always consider who your audience is, and that's the most serious thing you should consider. Okay, so now I've got my ready to start doing my transitions. How are my slides going to move from one slide to another? So when I get done with my title slide, I'm going to go over here to the Transitions tab, and look at here. There is a lot of transitions. I can do this random bars. As you click on them, see, you have a preview to see what it looks like. You can choose whatever you want. You can also click on to open up for more, and here's your subtle effects. And if I click on it, this is what I'm going to get. Now I'm going to have to open this up again. I can go to exciting, which is a faster effect. There's your honeycomb. Okay, once again, it depends upon your audience. I would choose an entirely different theme or transition if I were talking to a board of directors versus if I was talking to a bunch of students. There is also a dynamic effect where it rotates. Now, I'm going to choose, what I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose one of these random bars. I'm going to choose that one. Over here towards the right, you can see other things that you can do this. Your effect options. Do you want it vertical? Do you want it horizontal? If I do it horizontal, there's the bars. Do I want a sound? I can do a sound. I can do a chime sound. I can do a drum roll. I can do any of these sounds. I also, if I wanted a sound, if I had a sound that I had saved in an MP4 file, I could do that. I can create my own sound. How long do I want this transition to take? I can specify how long it takes. So if I want it to take a little while because I have a lot to say, I may want to move this up to 4 seconds. Now, I'm going to go over here to the preview, and I'm going to look. See how slow that transition is? Now, if I move this back to 1 second, let's preview that again. You see the difference? You decide. When do I advance the slide? Do I advance it only when I click the mouse, or do I advance it over a specific amount of time? If I say I want to advance it over after 6 seconds, or let's go back to 5 seconds so I can talk a minute. Let's look at this. Now I'm going to go over to the slide view. See there how it did that? So I can choose how I want it to advance. I can also choose to apply this transition exactly the way I set it up to all of my slides, or I can choose it to only this slide. Now there's something I want to show you right here. You see right here? See that star with the movement on the lines on the side of it? That means that there is animation on this slide. So when I look at your presentations and I look to see if you've done animation, I can see here that you have animation. I can also go to the slide sorter view, and there's the animation, and it will tell me the timing that I've set. So there's different ways that you can see that. Now I'm going to move over to another slide, and let's do another form of transition. Let me see, let's choose this ripple. That one can be really confusing, so watch this. If you've got people that may get sick, that might not be a good one. Effect options, I can do it from the bottom left. See there? How it almost looks like waves. I can do it from the bottom right. Let me see if they have anything that is like a whoosh sound. Okay. Now that duration is awful fast, so I may want to slow that down. Now, here is where you can see, if I say I'm going to set this at 10 seconds, let's go back to the presentation and start at slide number 1 again. Okay? And you see here that this is automatically going to transition. I did not press any buttons. After 10 seconds, this moved forward. And it's not going to move from here because I don't have transition set on the next slides. So you can go on and set your transitions. Each slide can be different. They can all be the same. It's up to you. I'm going to do animations on a separate video so it is not so long. So we'll see you there.